So now let's move to the actual major topic for which I invited you all. Okay, that's major psychological disorders. Now we are actually diving into what psychological disorders are. Till now, we discussed, what is abnormality. We discussed the 4 Ds of abnormal behavior. We discussed in very much good depth what are the factors underlying abnormal behavior. We discussed the psychological factors, we discussed biological factors, and we discussed the socio-cultural factors along with diathesis stress model. Now we are jumping into the psychological disorders. Okay, before I start this, I would, like to give a disclaimer. I am not a clinical psychologist. I do not have a direct exposure to the, with the clients or patients. So whatever I'm going to teach you is more or less limited to your NCRT book, and it is completely with an academic purpose. I can give you some instances of what I have witnessed in my internships, but again, yes, so you should try to learn it only by the academic perspective, and yeah, don't think of me as a professional for this. Okay, so this is a little disclaimer. So, yes, we'll jump into the anxiety disorders. It is a very interesting topic, and I'm sure you'll not get bored. Not as much as you got in factors. So, yeah, I have a question for you all. That is, does being anxious mean that you have an anxiety disorder?
No.
Do you guys before that tell me? Do you all get anxious in some or the other? Do you get
Yeah.
anxious?
This one.
Yeah.
Do you know what anxiety is? Pardon?
Kind of.
Okay, you
Kind
all
of.
get anxious.
People more think about future.
Okay, how?
Like if tomorrow there is my exam, and even if I
Hmm.
studied and or else I have not studied, I will be totally focused on result, like what will happen.
Okay, right. So, we all face anxiety at some or the other point of time. Do you guys agree with me?
Yes.
We all get anxious. Does that
Yeah.
mean that we all have anxiety disorder?
No.
No. What about others? What do you guys think? Rahul, Varsha, Priyanka?
Ma'am, if you
Do
are
you think we have?
continuously repeating something, that
Yes,
leads to anxiety. Like
rapidly.
continuously
Yeah.
thinking of
Mhm.
future.
Okay. So, whatever disorders that we will study, why I put this question over here is that we might relate a lot of things to ourselves. Okay, कि मेरे साथ भी ऐसा होता है, even I do like this or I do like that. But the severity of these disorders is way more than we have, probably witnessed. And that's why sometimes, we even, use these slangs with our friends also. But no, these disorders, the things that you're going to read in the books or you're going to hear from my mouth are going to sound very normal in front of the way these disorders actually look like. So being anxious is normal. We studied about eustress and distress, but when it turns to anxiety disorders, you are going to get a brief idea about those things, but these disorders are actually very severe. Okay, so let us discuss some symptoms and all that, and you will get an idea of whether being anxious mean that you have an anxiety disorder or not. Okay, the word disorder in itself, what does it mean? Out of order. You are not behaving in a certain order, that is why you are disordered. All right, so let's move ahead. Let's see what anxiety disorders actually are. Okay, so how do you feel when you have an exam next day, or you have a deadline for a certain assignment and you have yet not completed it, or you're not completely prepared for the exam, or there is certain emergency that came up a day before the exam and you couldn't prepare well. How do you feel?
Tensed.
Tensed, okay.
Nervous, fear.
Hmm. How do you feel physically? Let's start from physically.
Restless.
Restless, okay.
And your energy is low. Like your
Mm-hmm. Heartbeat rises,
yes,
does it?
so
And even
sweaty,
sometimes, uh-huh,
sweaty. Like you're sweating more.
yes, yes. Or, the digestive system, it gets disrupted. Does that
Yes,
happen?
yes.
Right? So it could be diarrhea or, shortness of breath. You're not able to breathe properly. Loss of appetite. मुझे तो भूख ही नहीं लग रही है, मेरा कल एग्जाम है. Does that happen with you all?
Yes.
You know, sweating, sleeplessness, नींद ही नहीं आ रही because next day exam है.
Yes, ma'am.
And we offer the people who are tense, we offer them water. We tell people, right, just have a glass of water, because actually they get dehydrated also. They have this frequent need to urinate because they're so much tensed or anxious. This nowhere means that you have an anxiety disorder. I just discussed that with you because anxiety is normal. It is a normal reaction to stress. On the other day we discussed statistical deviancy. Do you guys remember? I told you the normal probability curve, and I told you that anything that is in extreme or anything that is not present at all, it's gonna cause some or the other abnormality. Remember?
Yes.
Right? So there is a difference between anxiety and anxiety disorders. So if you see here, it is very beautifully given that anxiety is a normal reaction to stress or difficult times. Any normal person would feel all these symptoms when there's actual trigger outside. Okay, so our anxiety, it is triggered by a specific stressor कि एग्जाम है या असाइनमेंट है या कुछ ऐसा है. ऐसा तो नहीं है कि there is no trigger outside and you have suddenly started sweating and started feeling dehydrated, feeling the need to urinate again and again, or having a stomach upset without any reason, without any stressor. Does that happen to us?
No.
No, it doesn't happen to us. I have never faced this thing. And if somebody, he or she would counsel you or try to motivate you, you would feel good, and you would get along with life. It is not gonna stay with you for weeks or months just like that. And it is not like that your anxiety is coming out of nowhere, isn't it? कि कुछ भी नहीं है, I'm just feeling all the symptoms that we just discussed. And with us, the exam has passed and everything has happened. It is only a momentarily thing, from few minutes to few hours, and we try to find out its solution. We discuss with our friends and we start feeling better. But with people who are going through anxiety disorders, it doesn't happen that way. So if they speak to their friends, or even if they discuss it with somebody, they're not able to find the solutions to their problems, and it is something that has become conditioned to them. So the physical symptoms like sweating, trembling, lightheadedness, all these things, and they feel that things are completely out of their control. With us, if we have an exam, we'll find a solution to it. We'll either copy, or we will study, wake up early in the morning and study. We'll try to do something that lessens our anxiety, isn't it? But with people with anxiety disorders, even after doing all these things, they don't find it helpful. So the anxiety that we as human beings experience is normal reaction to stress. It is not as extreme as an anxiety disorder is. And even after reading these disorders, I would urge you to not use disorders or psychopathology so lamely. I have seen a few videos and some case studies. I did a course and I saw those case studies, and it is through that experience that I'm saying that these things are not as normal as they seem to be. The anxiety we experience is very different from the anxiety of these anxiety disorders. Okay, so is the difference between anxiety and anxiety disorders clear? Shall we move ahead?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so there are several types of anxiety disorders. There is no as such classification given in your NCRT book. I guess it has been according to DSM-4 itself. In DSM-5, OCD and related disorders are not a part of anxiety disorders. They are a part of anxiety disorders, but as a separate category. But we'll still study this as it is. Okay. So, yes. The first, these are the 5 types: generalized anxiety disorders, panic disorders, phobias, separation anxiety disorders, OCD and related disorders. Generalized anxiety disorder. So, what can you
Excuse
comprehend?
me, ma'am.
Yes. Kangan, are you saying something? I'm not able to hear you.
Ma'am, I think OCD is a like complete different disorder. It is not included in anxiety disorder, I think.
It is a category in anxiety disorders itself, but it has been separated in DSM-5. DSM-3, 3 revised, and 4 tak, it was under anxiety disorders itself.
Okay, I think in our NCRT we have it as a separate disorder. Now it is not included in anxiety disorder. In the
Okay,
NCRT.
all right. Okay. So we can eliminate it. Okay, but still we are going to study it. Yeah. So we can treat it as a separate part, right? Okay. So generalized anxiety disorder. What do you understand by the term generalized? Can you hear me?
Which we can generalize to all people.
Okay. Or maybe generalized to all situations,
Yeah.
right? So generalized anxiety disorder is, I want you guys to try what could generalized anxiety disorder be.
We
I
can
told you
generalize.
the. Mhm.
We can generalize some situations with the common reasons for that anxiety.
Okay. So you can, probably try from here. Just see. Generalized anxiety disorder, and there are phobias or there are separation anxiety disorders. When you read all these types, you would kind of see that phobia could be of a specific thing, right?
Yes.
Even separation anxiety disorder is talking about a certain kind of anxiety, even in panic. Okay, but when I talk about generalized anxiety disorder, it means that I am talking about an anxiety which is completely unexplained. There is no specific cause to that thing. There is no certain particular trigger due to which that person would behave the way he would, and it is prolonged. Okay, prolonged means it is spread over a period of time. It is not like I explained you the difference between anxiety and anxiety disorders, that our anxiety is for a short period of time. Anxiety disorder, the people who are going through some or the other anxiety disorder, their anxiety is for a longer period of time. Also, okay, so Rahul was mentioning, so that's how I remember. There is a difference between feeling anxious and feeling afraid, or feeling anxious and feeling stressed. Do you know how anxiety is different from stress and fear? Give
Will
it
you
a
repeat?
try. Pardon?
Will you repeat your question, please?
Yes. How is anxiety different from stress or from fear? Anxiety is not the same as fear or stress. What is the difference?
Ma'am, fear and stress, they are like based on present movement, and anxiety will be like future based.
Yes. So if you look carefully, you are kind of very close. So for fear and stress, there is a certain thing of which you are afraid. You know, there is a certain trigger that is causing you stress. Okay, but when you are feeling anxious means that that thing has not even happened. It is something that may or may not happen in future, but it is, you have just cooked it by your own overthinking. Are you getting my point? So if you are stressed about an exam, you are certain that the exam is going to happen next day. Or if you are stressed about something, there is some external pressure, some stimulus that is present. But when you are anxious about something, you are not sure whether or not that thing is going to happen, right? It's like you are taking tension, the layman term is tension. So the thing has not happened. You're not even sure if it will happen. I'm anxious about my exam because what will happen if the questions that are asked in exam are very tough? What will happen if the teacher who is the examiner who comes is very strict? Or what will happen if this happens or if that happens? So the thing has not happened in the present moment. It has not happened in the past. It may or may not happen in the future, but you are anxious about that thing. You are worried that it may happen, and you find it impossible to control your worry. That is what is called anxiety. Does it make sense?
Yeah.
So anxiety is not the same as fear or as stress. There are certain that you should, when we describe anxiety, so you should know about certain terminologies. The first one is prolonged. It is spread across a period of time. Second thing is, when you talk about anxiety disorders, the person's anxiety is vague. He's not even sure what he's worried about. If you ask that person, he does not know what he is worrying about. Then he cannot explain what is it that is causing him anxiety. And he's intensely afraid, more afraid than we people are. That is the symptoms that we discussed, that person is, feeling restless. He's feeling tense. He's feeling, worried, apprehensive about what will happen in future. He's constantly, he's being high vigilant, more vigilant than a person can be. Vigilance means being careful about. I hope you would have heard of the word vigilance, vigilant surveillance. So that person would be extra worried कि ये ना हो जाए, वो ना हो जाए, and he's totally, very vigilant about his society, his environment. And he's constantly, scanning his environment for danger. कि यहाँ से मुझे खतरा ना जाए. So he's completely in that fight or flight mode, and he's feeling, completely helpless. He does not know what to do. So these are certain symptoms of general anxiety disorder. Are you able to understand?
Yeah.
Did you get a clarity of what a generalized anxiety disorder is?
Yes, ma'am.
So other symptoms that are mentioned in your book is that rapid heart rate, shortness of breath, diarrhea, loss of appetite, all those things that we already discussed, right? Next one is panic disorders. Many times, you would have noticed in your environment. Even I have seen one case same way. So I wouldn't go specifically into the details of that, but again, our families, they are probably not as much aware of psychological disorders as we are. Sometimes even we aren't, because nobody has taught us. It's that we are right now, so we can understand it a little better, isn't it? So sometimes, a person feels, a person goes through certain symptoms, and symptoms of panic attack are pretty much parallel or similar to a heart attack. Our families have never heard of what panic attack is. and they misinterpret it as a heart attack. And even after diagnosing the person completely, or after conducting all the tests that a physician conducts, they find nothing. Okay, because the problem that that person was facing was not biological in nature, it was psychological in nature. Increased heart rate, chest pain, hot flushes or chills, fear of losing control, or the fear of dying, ki I would not survive this attack. Sweating profusely. We have at least watched movies. We've seen how heart attack takes place. If we have not seen it in our surroundings, upset stomach or nausea, we know that there is a chest pain on one side of the person, and there's an increased heart rate. All these symptoms are pretty much similar to the panic disorder also. But here the cause of the disorder is not biological in nature, it is psychological in nature. There is something in the environment with which there is some association that has been formed, which is triggering that attack. Okay, so I'm again telling you the symptoms of the disorder. Shortness of breath, dizziness, chakkar aana, trembling, kampna, palpitations, choking, I can't breathe, nausea, I feel like vomiting, chest pain and discomfort, fear of going crazy, losing control, feeling that I am not going to survive this attack and I may die. So when you hear of these symptoms, you may find them similar to what we call heart attack. But yes, these similar symptoms are similar to panic disorder also. So it is an intense anxiety rising to a peak when thoughts of a particular stimuli are present. So people on panic anxiety, panic disorders, they may not like to visit the same place again, where they previously had that particular attack. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Shall we move ahead?
Yes.
Okay. So, I feel afraid. Could I be going through some disorder? Is it that I'm going through some disorder? Is there something wrong with me that I continuously feel afraid, or I feel afraid of certain things? So, you can guess what disorder am I talking about here? Can you make a guess?
Anxiety.
Fear? Huh? Pardon?
Phobia.
Anxiety.
Yes, and Rahul, what are you saying?
Anxiety, I think. I feel afraid.
No, we've already talked about anxiety. We are talking about a type of anxiety. Priyanka
Okay.
is correct. We are talking about phobias.
Phobia.
Yes, phobia. So phobia is, fear, irrational fear. So there is a difference between feeling afraid and having a phobia. Okay. So what is that difference? Can you tell me?
In fear.
I'm not written.
Hello.
Yes.
In fear, it may arise sometimes, but in phobia, if there is a phobia of height, every time when we are at certain height, we get fear. That is phobia. But
Okay.
in fear, it's not necessary that each time when I am at the height, at high altitude, I get fear. I get fear. If it is sometimes that it will be fear, but it is usual, then it will be phobia.
Okay. Okay, try to think some more what other difference could be there. There is one very major difference between fear and phobia.
And phobia will be like a particular thing which triggers.
Okay. So fear is also of a particular thing. Fear can also be of a particular thing. I'm very afraid of my father or mother. Okay, I'll tell you what is the difference between fear and phobia. So, you know, when I say that I'm afraid of my father or my mother, there will definitely be some cause behind it. If a child says that he's afraid of his uncle, or he's afraid of darkness, or he's afraid of a certain lizard, there would be something associated with that thing due to which you are afraid of that thing. And you're not you don't have a phobia. When I say phobia, so that thing is harmless. उस बेचारी चीज ने तो कुछ भी नहीं करा, but you are still feeling afraid. Getting my point?
Yeah.
So that thing is harmless to everyone around you, but you are the only person who is feeling that this thing may cause it is a trigger of danger and it may harm me. So phobia is irrational. It is illogical. There is no reason behind it. Fear would have some reason behind it. If I am afraid of dogs, probably I have had experience in my past. You know, a dog bit me, or I saw somebody, somebody being bitten by a dog. That is why I am afraid of dog, and I don't have a phobia of dogs. When I say I have a phobia of something, that means that there is no logical explanation, there is no reason behind it. I am just afraid of that. Understood?
Yes.
Phobia is irrational. It is illogical. There is no reasoning behind it. The poor thing of which you are afraid of is innocent. Whether it is, some bird or people, spider, water, they're harmless to almost everybody around them. But they feel that they will be, harmed by that certain thing. And that's why they feel phobia. So yeah, I hope I made it clear difference between phobia and fear. So we all feel afraid of one or the other thing. That does not mean that we have phobia of that thing. Now phobia could be of a certain object or a certain thing or situation also, or even people. There is the classification of phobia includes three major type of phobias. Before that, let me give you an insight into what a phobia looks like. So when a person has a phobia, phobia of spiders, phobia of water, phobia of aeroplanes, there are n number of phobias. Okay. So that person would feel shortness of breath. He'll not feel comfortable breathing. He'll feel like he's losing control. I am not, when I say I'm losing control, that means I am not in my senses, my body, my brain, nothing is in my control. I feel like losing control. Nothing is in my hands. Cold or hot flushes. I'm sweating profusely. Fear of going insane. I may go insane. I may go mad. That person may feel like fainting straight away. So when you're afraid of something, it's not usually that this thing happens to you. Does it happen? If you're afraid
No.
of dog, does that happen with you?
No.
No, these things are not normal. That's why I told you that phobia and fear, they're completely different. The disorders that we face and general normal, what a normal human being goes through is completely different. That's why these things have been classified as disorders, and they seek treatment for the same. So there are three major types of phobia: specific phobias, social phobia, and agoraphobia. Just a minute. Yes. So specific phobia is when you are afraid of a certain thing. It could be something in the environment, natural, like hydrophobia, or it could be from some animal, like a fear of lizards, dogs, horses, fear of anything in the world. These are specific phobias. Fear of visiting a dentist, fear of being in closed spaces, fear of going in a lift, or keeping your rooms or windows closed. All these things, these come under specific phobias. Okay. Then social anxiety disorders. So it is called social anxiety disorder or social phobia. So just like the symptoms that I told you, in social anxiety disorder or social phobia, the person will not feel comfortable in the social environment, in social surroundings, while interacting with the other people. you know, we don't generally sweat, or we don't start shaking. We don't feel all these things when we are in surrounding. Even if we are afraid of, when we go for an interview and we feel afraid and we feel nervous, even then the condition is not this much extreme. And even if it is due to certain, some certain particular cause. But that is not the case in social anxiety disorder, right? So the person may feel all these physical or emotional symptoms while being in any social settings. So these people, you can very well understand, they may have, stage fear, or being in front of so many people and performing all those things. The last type of phobia is agoraphobia. So while, you see in this, the person is in a social setting, but he's not feeling comfortable interacting in a social setting. Okay. Whereas in agoraphobia, the person does not want to leave his home. Okay. He does not want to leave his comfort zone. He just wants to stay in his comfort zone. And he is very much afraid of going in any situation, any place which is not, you know, his comfort zone, which is not familiar to that person. So those would be afraid of leaving their own home, or even for them, going to their office would also be like a challenge. Okay, so that's agoraphobia. When you don't want to, visit unfamiliar places, you feel afraid. So you just want to stay in the place where you feel most comfortable. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
We'll do last type of, anxiety disorder now. That is separation anxiety disorder. Rest will continue tomorrow. So, separation anxiety disorder, it is a type of disorder that is seen in children. So these children, these are the children who are extremely attached to their parents or something like that, and they do not want to get separated from them. So you can very well imagine what level of challenge it would be for their parents to send them to school, or to send them to even a play, or to go with their friends, because these kids, they do not want to leave their parents. They have an anxiety of leaving their parents, of getting separated from their parents. So imagine they are doing bedwetting, they have a fear of going to school, they're getting nightmares related to separation. They would not sleep alone, they will not sleep away from home, they may even not go to, play with their friends. They have excessive clinginess. So imagine how much, what kind of parenting they would have had. The parents would have probably made them a lot dependent in their early childhood. They may get, see, stomach ache, headache, muscle aches when it comes to separating from their parents, panic attacks when separating from their parents or caregivers. They have a fear of being alone. So this disorder is called separation anxiety disorder. I hope that made sense,
Yes.
whatever we did today.
Yeah.
Any doubts still here?
No.
Rahul, do you have anything to ask?
Ma'am, what will be the difference between generalized and social anxiety disorder?
Generalized anxiety disorder would be like, you are feeling anxious at, any place. You're feeling worried about for no reason. Whereas in social anxiety disorder, you will be in a social setting. You're feeling anxious only when you are in a social setting, or you have to interact with the other person, or maybe attend a meeting, conference, or any social setting for that matter. Generalized anxiety disorder does not require you to be in a social setting. It could be anything. It could be, you may feel anxious just while sitting at your home also. So this does not require you to be in a social setting for that matter. Make sense?
Okay, it is not situation based. Sorry.
It is not situation based.
Okay.
It is vague, it is prolonged. I told you it is generalized because, everything is general for them. and they can feel anxiety for anything.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Any other doubts? All right. Then we'll meet tomorrow. Thank you so much.